I will now call this meeting to order. We have a quorum. This meeting is being webcast live and recorded. The recording or webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Closed session items are as follows. Close, not consent. Would you like to do this?
No.
Public employee assignment, reassignment, appointment. Public employee discipline, dismissal, release, complaints, conference with labor negotiator, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, and anticipated litigation. 7 matters involve facts and circumstances that might result in litigation against the district, but which facts and circumstances are not yet known to the potential plaintiff or plaintiffs. Public comment on closed session topics. Public comment on any closed session item will be heard at this time. Pursuant to board policy, the board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. It's recommended you begin your comments by stating your name. Is there any public comment? Seeing none. We anticipate that closed session will take approximately 30 minutes. However, if additional time is required, regular session may be called to order after 5:30. The board will now adjourn to closed session. Welcome. We will now convene regular session. Alondra Moran will serve as the Spanish interpreter for this meeting. Meeting attendees who would like to listen to the Spanish interpretation of the proceedings, please pick up headphones from a table located in the back of this room. This announcement will now be shared in Spanish.
Alondra Morán servirá como intérprete al español para esta reunión. Invitamos a los asistentes de la reunión que deseen escuchar la interpretación al español, el ir por audífonos a la mesa ubicada al fondo de esta sala de reuniones. Gracias.
Thank you. This meeting is being webcast live and recorded. The recording or webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Members of the public who would like to provide public comment on items listed on tonight's agenda, we recommend you fill out the public comment form, the green form, located on the table at the northeast corner of the room or entrance of the room. Please hand the completed form to Executive Assistant Leisha Weatherford, who has raised her hand in the back of the room before the item comes up on the agenda. We recommend you complete a separate form for each agenda item on which you would like to comment. Members of the public providing public comment, please use the microphone on the stand located in the front of the room. Next, Board Member Walter Gamoyan will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Okay, there was no action taken in closed session, so there's no report out there. Revisions to enclosure items. There are revised item enclosures 6.10, 6.13, 10.2, and 10.3. May I have a motion to adopt the board meeting agenda?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Ms. Gamoyan, second by
Second.
Ms. Naylor. Call for the vote. We miss him.
Oh, me.
Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Okay, focus on student learning. There are no items for focus on student learning this evening, so we'll move on to general public comment. General public comment on any topic not on the agenda may be heard at this time. If you have public comment on an item listed on tonight's agenda, there will be an opportunity for you to share your comments at the time the item comes up for discussion by the board. Pursuant to board policy, the board will limit individual comments for general public comment to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. To comply with the Brown Act, California's open public meeting law, board discussion is limited to items on the agenda. Therefore, when receiving public comment for items not on the agenda, the board's role is limited to receiving such comments, and the board may not engage in dialogue with the public. The board thanks the public for its participation in public comment and understanding of the board's responsibilities. It's recommended you begin your comments by stating your name. I have 2 so far. It looks like Linda Martinez.
Hi, good evening. You may remember me from a couple of days ago. I was here, and it was my first time speaking. I was a little bit more nervous than I am today, so I'm a little bit more less shaken up. So my name is Linda Martinez, and I want to reiterate, I have 2 children that go to VUSD. A little background on me, I'm actually from the East Coast. I'm new to California. I moved here during COVID. However, my husband grew up here. He was born in San Bernardino, and he's lived in California most of his life. He graduated from Redwood, and both my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law both attended VUSD schools. So we have a strong history here of paying taxes here and for living here. We do enjoy this area. I love Visalia. My husband works for the county and we love this area a lot. I love the diversity. I come from the East Coast where there's small towns, and I know that this is considered a small town, but there is 150,000 of us here, and that is not a small town in what I would consider a small town. We lived in a town, there was about 3,000 people before we moved here, so the school board was a lot smaller and they handled a lot less children. So I do understand that that's probably a lot more stressful for you guys to handle such a large caseload, and 30,000 children is a lot of kids. I just want to speak today primarily on the safety of children and how important I find the safety. And I really want to focus on a petition. We have a petition that we started that we would like to make sure that you guys are aware of this petition, that we are at about 2,200 signatures so far to get cameras in our special needs classrooms, because I feel it is completely vital now because of abuse that's already happened. And we've heard of numerous cases in this school district of abuse happening in other schools. And we need these cameras to provide a unbiased view of what is happening in our classrooms during the day, so that when we as parents have issues, we can present them to someone and someone can unobjectively watch that video and figure out what happened that day, so that we can have a clear, definitive case of what happened, and so that we can move forward and how we need to move forward. Every child deserves a safe environment to go to school. That is absolutely bare minimum. We do live in the United States. School shootings is also something that I struggle with every day. I stress about what would even happen as my child has special needs. That is something that is super stressful to me to even think of how he would handle a situation like that. So I know that you guys take safety as a priority, and you guys are looking at the right steps. So one of those steps I really hope that you're looking forward or looking to in the future is to put these cameras in these classrooms and give these kids who do not have a voice. All of these kids that were in this classroom in Highland are nonverbal, and my son specifically cannot speak at all. He does not have any way to communicate what his day is like. He does not have any way of communicating how he got that scratch or how he got that bruise. And he is a little boy, and little boys do get hurt, and I do understand that. But as a parent, I should have some way to be able to figure out what happened to my kid that day, why he's coming home bruised and scratched. And you guys are responsible for making sure that our parents and our teachers are safe and they're doing the things that they should be doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Brittany Camacho.
Hi, good evening. My name is Brittany Camacho. It's nice to see you all again. I do plan to become familiar with all of you, and I hope that you guys can start to become familiar with myself. I kind of wanted to go over today the petition that she had mentioned that my husband and I started. And I'm just going to read over the issue. That way you guys can be caught up a little bit of the situation. It says, my special needs child, as well as other children, are victims of abuse at the hands of their teacher during classroom hours. These were TKK children. So these were 5 and 6 years old, and I know you guys emphasized on Tuesday how important the youth is. The youth is the future. The youth are so important, and 5 and 6 years old is such a crucial time of development with behaviors like you also mentioned. The children learn from their teachers. They do learn behaviors from their teachers that at that age sticks with them for a lifetime. So these are lifelong disadvantages of trauma that these children are just going to have to endure and deal with from this incident. But again, these were TKK children in the SLC, the special learning class. And unfortunately, they cannot speak up for themselves. This is not just their story, but the story of many special needs children who don't have a voice or the tools to express the distress they experience and advocate for themselves. By installing cameras in all special needs classrooms, we can provide a layer of protection for these vulnerable children and assure parents that their children are safe in the learning environment. Statistics indicate that children with disabilities are disproportionately affected by misconduct in schools. The U.S. Department of Education notes that students with disabilities represent a larger share of those involved in alleged maltreatment than their peers without disabilities. This highlights the urgent need for measures to be put in place to protect these students. Camera surveillance in special needs classrooms would not only act as a deterrent against misconduct, but also provide transparency and accountability in the classroom. Teachers and staff should be performing their duties under scrutiny to ensure the best possible care for the students. We cannot rely on the adults in the classroom to mandate report. In my son's case, due to delayed and failed mandated reporting, multiple classmates were abused. There are concerns about privacy, but measures can be implemented to protect the dignity and confidentiality of students, such as limiting access to footage and ensuring it is only reviewed when an incident is reported. School districts across the U.S. have successfully integrated these systems, demonstrating that it's both feasible and beneficial. I just hope, that you guys would join us in this urgency and an important matter for the children's protection. Thank you.
Thank you. Sabrina Norton.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Norton. You might have thought last month that you were done with me. No, unfortunately, I had to skip last month because I was attending a funeral. However, this month I'm back because I need to talk to you about something important. I have come under fire in multiple comment sections lately for not having a child in the district, and therefore some seem to think I have no right to an opinion. I personally would think that it's obvious why someone would be concerned about what happens in the schools in the city that they live in, but clearly that's not the case. I have a vested interest in the generation that is going to grow up and vote and potentially one day make the decisions on the rules and regulations of the place that I call home. Concerning the Redwood bullying incident, these teens are our future. They may go off to college and one day they may come back to run for a position in our local government. I should know. My high school bully did. It's been a well-known secret for a while now that Brian Puchigian, Pooch, if you will, Visalia City Council member and former mayor, was my high school bully. And that in 1996, our principal at Mount Whitney High School convinced my family not to go to the police. I just have never addressed it publicly before, and having just said it on camera makes me a little nervous. However, I'm doing it tonight because teens like these grow up to be adults, like the two Tulare County supervisors that walked out in protest during a June 2nd Tulare County Board of Supervisors meeting because they were too disrespectful, bigoted, and hypocritical to sit quietly and listen as 3 Tulare County LGBT nonprofit groups were recognized for the contributions to the county. When little bullies are protected by adults, when they aren't course corrected, when they are told that they are more important than others because of their social status on campus, they grow up to be big bullies. So yes, I care whether VUSD produces a generation of students that are going to make a difference in this world, or if they are going to continue the tradition of intolerance set by their predecessors. I care if our kids feel safe enough to speak up and not feel pressured to stay quiet. 30 years ago, I stayed quiet, but I have a voice now, and since I don't have kids of my own, I'm more than ready and willing to use it for any of the kids in the district who still aren't quite ready to use their own. Thank you, and happy Pride.
Thank you. Looks like Mickey K.
Hi, I am Mickey Kay. I'm actually here because I learned about something new today, and I didn't know if everybody here knew about it and if people at home knew about it or not. So currently, right now, there is a bill that is going to start a pilot program here. It's called SB 1181. And what does it do? Well, my friends, what it does is it would establish a Central Valley School Safety Coordination pilot program connecting the schools with regional fusion centers. So, what is a fusion center? Glad you asked. Fusion centers are law enforcement and intelligence sharing hubs originally created for counterterrorism efforts after 9/11. The program would enable information sharing, online threats, digital radicalization, disinformation, absenteeism, and youth mental health. Fusion centers operate with limited transparency, oversight, or public accountability. And we're wanting to put this here at VUSD. So I just wanted to let people know that that's information that is currently trying to be passed right now. So if you want to look it up, I highly encourage you do, because digital radicalization, that could be anything. These are such broad definitions. And, maybe instead of surveilling our students, because also this includes after school hours too. I don't pay my taxes. I don't send my kids to school here thinking that they are going to be watched from the technology that they are utilizing when I have no option to opt out. So because this is a potential pilot program that is to be passed in the next several months, I would highly encourage you guys not to push it through. Don't allow Sacramento to do this to Tulare County, please, because you guys are going to be marginalizing more people than what you already do. There is a lack of accountability when it comes to punishment, I guess, or just lack of accountability for students and teachers and some staff members. And I would like people to be held more accountable, especially with district guidelines. And yeah, I thought that everybody should know about SB 1181, and you should definitely look into it because it's watching our kids. And I want to be able to opt out. If I'm not able to opt out, I'm going to pull my students out. How much funding are we going to be losing by parents pulling out their students? Thank you.
Thank you. Efren Becerra.
Good afternoon, board members. So I'm very appalled right now of the news that I heard. In my case, I personally did receive an apology from those bullies. But they're not running for public office. I just wanted to say something that I missed from what I heard on the last board meeting is this is all voluntary work, and I'm here because I'm volunteer. Just so you know, you are elected officials, elected by the people and for the people. So we can vote you out. That's not a problem. And when it comes to indirect bully, I guess people are not perfect. I wanted to say something. In my case, directed at you, Trustee Gamorian, I went to the office of the GOP one time. You happened to be there. I said hello, and you just completely ignored me, and I took it as very rude, just so you know. So I don't have a good image of you because of that reason. And I'm not saying I'm the very nice person. I'm imperfect. I ran for office, so I should know. You learn. But the second issue I wanted to add was, again, definitely, I think there has to be more training for classified employees. My experience with VUSD as an employee was not bad, but I do believe that the training needs to be more in the shadowing perspective, because you're swimming in a water of a bunch of people. I've been there for 10, 20 years with you guys. And there's no communication whatsoever in the schools at all, especially from principals. And I had two principals that I dealt with, from Ms. Gomez from the Visalia and Dr. Sonia Joyner from Manuel Hernandez. And honestly, in my opinion, they're not very good leaders. They need to be completely monitored by you guys and questioned for everything. There's no support for staff. There was a restraining order for one of the teachers. She felt very threatened. Dr. Joyner did not protect their teacher. I believe in leadership is action. I believe you need to protect your staff. That's your priority, and your students. And go from there. And that did not happen in this case. I saw it with my own eyes as a new employee, and I was thinking, why am I working here? And that's separate from the special ed department that I work for. There were many things going on in your schools that you guys are not aware of. But you have administrators like Ms. Burgess here that protects and hides things. So just letting you know, November can't come soon enough to Visalia. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Okay, seeing none, we will go forward. Item 6, Would any board member like to pull an item from consent agenda? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll motion.
A second.
DeYoung and second by Ms. Naylor. Call for the vote.
Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Item 7, board member reports. We're going to change up things here. And Ms. Naylor, you're first.
No report.
No report from me. Ms. Gamoyan?
No report.
Mr. DeYoung?
I have no report, but I'd just like to say explanation for my recent absence. I've been taking care of a family member who's doing a lot better. And so thank you to everyone for all their thoughts and prayers. But yep, no report.
Okay.
Have
We're
a
glad
great
the
summer,
results are
people.
good.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Mr. Belt?
We're glad you're back, Kenneth, and your dad's doing better. No report.
Superintendent's report. No report. No report. 9, administrative panel recommendations. There is no administrative panel, so we'll move on to general agenda. 10.1, second read, 2026-27, Local Control Accountability Plan, LCAP. Chief Business Officer Nathan Hernandez.
Good evening, President Odo, members of the board, and Deputy Superintendent Thompson. So tonight we're bringing forward the 26-27 Local Control Accountability Plan for approval. As a reminder, we brought the LCAP and presented the report on Tuesday during that public hearing. The plan continues our focus in our 3 primary areas: improving academic achievement, strengthening belonging and safety, and increasing communication and family engagement. Approximately 90 million in actions and services are aligned with the plan, with targeted investments supporting the needs of our students, including English learners, foster youth, and low-income students. This is the final year of our 3-year LCAP plan, and we'll begin the development of our next 3-year plan as we continue to monitor what's working, where we need to improve, and how do we adjust moving forward. At this time, I'm available for any questions or to consider approval for our 26-27 Local Control Accountability Plan.
Thank you. Any public comment on this item? Board member comment on this item? Mr. Hernandez, thanks to your folks for putting that together. I will call for a motion to approve second read 2026-27 Local Control Accountability Plan.
I'll move.
Okay, that's Mr. Belt first, second by, I guess, me?
Second.
I got it. Okay, call for the vote.
Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
20. Item 10.2, 2026-27 VUSD budget, second read. Mr. Hernandez?
Good evening again. Again, this is the second reading of our 26-27 VUSD budget with no changes since our meeting on Tuesday. As we shared during the public hearing, this budget reflects our continued effort to align our resources with our strategic plan and ensure that our investments support student learning and our district priorities. The May revision provided a stronger financial outlook than what we originally projected in January. However, our focus remains on our long-term sustainability as we address our enrollment changes, our ongoing cost pressures, and the transition away from one-time funding. As I mentioned, this budget maintains our fiscal stability, meaning that we have ability to maintain our minimum reserve balance as well as positive ending fund balance, and allows us to continue the resource management work that is necessary to align our people, our time, and our funds for our greatest impact on our students. At this time, I am available for questions. We can entertain approval of the budget.
Okay, is there any public comment on this item? Any board discussion? Okay, same comment here. Thanks to your folks for putting this together. May I have a motion to approve the 2026-27 VUSD budget second read?
So moved.
Moved by Ms.
Second.
Naylor, second by Ms. Gamoyan. Call for the vote.
Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you so much.
Okay, 10.3. Public hearing, collective bargaining agreement between Visalia Unified School District and Classified School Employees Association, Chapter 83, that's CSEA 83 for 2026-27. I'll now open a public hearing to allow for public comment on this item. Our presenter is Assistant Superintendent HRD Ben Dillon.
Thank you, Board President Odo, members of the board. I am very encouraged to share with you that our CSEA local chapter 83 and our district bargaining teams have been able to come to a tentative agreement together. What you have before you is the proposed agreement for the 26-27 school year, which would become effective July 1 this year through June 30th next year. And And similar to what I had shared on Tuesday night, just want to thank both of our bargaining teams, our chief negotiators, Dr. Judy Burgess, Chelsea Chavez, Shauna Wheaton, Hernandez, and many others on that team, as well as many folks on our team who have worked very collaboratively, who've come to the table together, engaged in responsible and respectful dialogue and cooperation to arrive at a mutually beneficial agreement in service of our classified employees as they then serve our students. And so would ask if there's any questions, we'd be happy to answer those. Otherwise, would request that the board move forward and approve the recommended agreement.
So is there any public comment on this item? Board member comment on this item?
Just want to say thank you for all your hard work on both sides. Thank you.
Okay, ditto on that. So I'm going to close then the public hearing, reconvene the regular meeting. May I have a motion to approve the public hearing collective bargaining agreement between Visalia Unified School District and Classified School Employees Association, Chapter 83, CSEA, for 2026-2027?
I'd like to move that. Yes.
Second.
Mr. Belt first, Ms. Naylor second. Call for the vote.
Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Got it. 10.4, notice of intent to employ certificated personnel and approval of variable term waiver request for speech language pathologist. Mr. Dillon.
I am excited to share with the board that we are able to move forward with a speech language pathologist that we are thrilled to have working in our school district. Speech language pathologists are hard to find these days. And so in an effort to support the ongoing professional certification of this individual, requesting that you please approve the waiver so that this speech language pathologist is able to pursue the credentialing requirements necessary to work in this capacity.
Okay. Any public comment on this item? Board member comment? Okay, may I have a motion to approve the notice of intent to employ certificated personnel and approval of variable term waiver request for speech language pathologist?
So moved.
Okay. Naylor first, second by,
I'll second.
got it. Mr. DeYoung, call for the vote.
Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Very good. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.